Flight tickets for international airlines have dropped significantly in the past few weeks. This development followed a recent directive by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority directing foreign airlines to open reduced inventories. It can also be noted that the Airpeace airline entrance into the Lagos-London market is also a factor responsible for the crash of foreign airline tickets in the country. Recall that Airpeace Airline on February 28, 2024 announced that the launch of its Lagos-London route, thereby announcing a return economy class ticket for 1.2 million naira, while the return business class ticket sells for 4 million naira. The airline also slashed the airfare by 15% for Nigerians studying in the UK. Joining us in the studio is CEO Airpeace Airline, Onyema. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. And also we have in the studio columnist, essayist, Sam Omashe. Good morning.
Right.
It's good to have you join us. Congratulations. We are counting down to the launch of the Lagos-London route, and we're already seeing reactions. Airline fares crash. It's even on the papers as well this morning that airfares crash, rather, on international route over foreign exchange Airpeace debut. Let's get your reaction to this.
Yeah, you see, this is what we've been
clamoring
over time. At the time, I was sounding like a broken record, you know, fighting for indigenous investments. I've always said it, that it's only the indigenous investments that can save this country. If we can support our own, we can protect our own, then it will be well for this country. Over the years, the international airlines, let me use the word fleece. Because a situation whereby if you fly out of Ghana, you pay almost half the price. If you fly out of South Africa, almost half of the price. But for my country, we were paying through our noses. So I knew, even before now, that if only the Nigerian lines could be supported, that would go a long way to helping this country. And remember, it almost went into blackmail of the government of the day because of the dollar issues. The president was being blamed. This time, any Nigerian wanted to pay 15 million naira to do a 6-hour flight to London. They would blame it on the president each time. And the foreign airlines said, oh, it's because of the dollar. That was why. But when Airpeace now brought down the fares to 4 million naira within 24 hours, all the foreign airlines started scrambling for cover. They brought down theirs to 5 million from 17 million business class, 16 million business class to 5 million. From 6 million economy to 1.9 and even 2 million, because we brought ours down from 1.2 million. So that caused a lot of disruption, positive disruption in the market. And now Mr. President of the country has been vindicated that he was not the cause of the problems. The problems are both internal and external conspiracies. But now we can see what is happening. And it's falling. It's still going, even before the dollar started coming down. So if you attribute it to the dollar, it may not even be fair to the government, because they were doing this, putting it on the dollar. The dollar was still 1,700 naira or thereabout to a dollar when we brought it down to 4 million, and they brought it down to 5 million from there 15 million. So it shows one thing, that some people were being deliberate against the country.
Right.
So it's a very welcome development. But Nigerians, would they learn?
Don't you think they would?
Yeah, no, but some airlines, slave mentality and colonial mentality. Some people say, fly Airpeace to London, as if Airpeace had just started doing international flying. Airpeace flies to China, which is 14 hours flying, non-stop, drops, and comes back immediately another 14 hours, non-stop, with good machines. We fly to India, scheduled operations, 12 hours going and 12 hours or 13 hours coming back. Nothing. We do over 160 hours of flying in Nigeria daily. Daily, we are the largest in the whole of West Africa. Nobody does that.
Those of New York.
The government has given us New York, but we are pushing towards that, maybe towards the end of the year, to start that operation. So I don't know the hula bulu about 6 hours journey to London, and that is a piece of cake.
Really?
For an airline that every day for the past 9 years has been posting over 130 hours of flying daily. Nigerians should trust their own.
Somebody said when this thing happened, and when I said I was going to have you on air, that he said it's Nigerians that made, I don't want to mention the airline, you know the airline I'm talking about. All of them want to come there. So the people say, okay, if they are demanding it, they will create different classes of business class. And then you give them how much, and no matter how much you give them, they will pay. Say that is why. I said, but this is against the law of demand and supply. You know that when there is a lot of demand, the lot of demand, and then there is a lot of supply, then the thing will go down, the price keeps going up because we made it artificial. Now, what do you think is going on? Is this a conspiracy or greed? Or is it also our elite that are part of this problem?
Well, all of them. Both internal and external conspiracies, plus our elite, plus some government officials, because in the first place, Airpeace was stopped, or they were aided in stopping Airpeace for the past 5 years by some government officials in Nigeria. We fought our way through and...
Stopped from doing what exactly?
From even going to London. They were able to allow us to go to China, go to India, go to Saudi Arabia and other places. But the London, because...
There was a lobby against...
I'm telling you, it's not just Britain alone. In fact, I can't even put it to Britain. Airpeace was stopped by its own country. That is the truth, and I've said it over time, and I'm not afraid to say it. And unless we look beyond myopic tendencies and myopic thinking in this country, we're not moving forward. Don't look at Airpeace as Onyema's airline. No, it's no longer Onyema's airline. It belongs to the over 220 million Nigerians. Except and only when we stop looking at private investors as the owners of those investments, we never move forward. We must look at private investors as
we
collaborators.
Can't separate them from their businesses.
Yes, no, but these people are providing millions of jobs, thousands of jobs, so it's no longer them. But in other climes, private investment, indigenous investments are supported. Okay, in America, if you can prove that you can give, even as a foreigner, you want to invest in America and you put in you create about 50 jobs, you start going towards being given, these are EB5, whatever, immigration status that will lead to green card. Only 50. In Nigeria, I'm providing thousands of jobs, and I'm not giving my dues. And likewise, other investors. The civil servant looks at you like an enemy. They don't believe that you're collaborators to move the economy forward. And that was how we were stopped. We were stopped not because we didn't have the machines. We were stopped not because we didn't have the wherewithal to do it. But some people had other ideas and frustrated us. But I don't want to go there now because today we are now going into London. But we need the support of the government of the day. We need the support of the people of Nigeria. They have started some kind of price war because of what the Airpeace did. One airline advertised $98.
From where to where?
From Nigeria to London. Some are giving over 400 tickets. Some are slashing even below cost price. And Nigerians will follow. The moment they get the Nigerian airline, and God forbid, they will go back to status quo. And they will recover all they have lost during this period. That has been the bane of Nigerian airlines. So when you call Arik, you call Medview, you call Bellevue, Air Nigeria, those suffered the same fate. A situation where we went into Gatwick and we were being told to pay about £3 million before we start. And we started negotiating.
Is that
any airline coming to Nigeria paying that? Are they paying that? Their airlines coming to Nigeria paying that? And these are security deposits. You're not supposed to. They don't even draw down on them. You ask them, okay, when am I going to get this money back? No, as long as you're coming to this, it has to be there. So it's like bringing that amount of money from Nigeria and giving them to take. Even caterers, their catering companies, they will tell you £740,000 deposit. I've never seen such a thing before. The question is, do we...
That's by the British government?
It's not British government. You see, I clap for them. Countries protect their own. Because they've seen Airpeace coming.
They're threatened?
Everybody's threatened. It's obvious. Within 24 hours, all the international airlines on that route started coming down.
Must be a very profitable route.
Furiously. It's the most profitable route in the world.
Really? Lagos, London?
What they charge there, they don't charge people going to New York flying from UK to the United States about 8 hours. They don't charge that amount of money. It's only Nigeria everybody takes that kind of amount of money.
Now, the question is this. When I fly to US, you fly to London on one plane, and then you fly to maybe Toronto or to New York or to Boston or to Denver on another plane. Why is it that the plane that they bring to Nigeria is not of the same class with the plane that they fly among themselves? Why can't we do something about that? That the class of airline crafts that we use in our own country, which is the most profitable one, must be of the same class that they fly from London or from Frankfurt.
You know, what matters in aviation worldwide is safety.
Yes.
What matters is safety, safety and safety. You cannot stop them from using those aircraft. Because in aviation, the first thing they look at is safety. Is it safe? The truth is, every aircraft is as good as its maintenance. Those planes that are bringing into the country are safe. I cannot sit here and tell you that they're not safe.
It's not safety I'm talking about.
I know, it's not safe. You're talking about ambience.
I'm talking about ambience because you are paying so much. I mean, if I'm entering a Rolls Royce,
you're talking about.
If I'm entering a Rolls Royce, I pay better than I enter a Keke.
Yes, but in aviation,
have you ever entered a Keke?
In aviation, what we look at is safety, and those their planes, though they are very old, are safe. That's what matters most. However, yes, you may be right. The laborer deserves his wages. If we are paying so much, they should give you something with a better ambience. Fine. But that is what it is. That is what it is. We need to support indigenous investments in this country. And that's the ones that create the jobs.
And that's where I'm going, because earlier you mentioned that you haven't been giving your dues, and it's important that Nigerians support their own. When you're talking about you being giving your dues, how do you mean? You need to expatiate on that. And you are also talking about support from the people, and especially support from government. In specific terms, what did you or what are you expecting from government in terms of support as it is? Because if Nigerians did not support your business, I don't think that the business would have grown to this point as it is.
You see, when we talk about support, you might bring out your investment and invest in one thing or the other, and people are patronizing. Yes, that is support. Nigerians support Airpeace. What we are saying on the international arena, we must begin, not just Airpeace, other Nigerian airlines. We must begin to show love for everything Nigerian.
How?
You could see recently, I even jokingly threatened that if they ever go for foreign coach...
Yeah, I saw that, and I was going to ask you about that.
They are becoming a made in Nigeria.
Honestly, I love this country. It's all about patriotism. Because it pains me. If you go to America, who are the people moving to America? Nigerians. In the tech world, most places, that the brain drain is there, that are excelling in other climes. Why not make it here? Why not love ourselves? Forget ethnicity and religion. We use it to divide ourselves. It doesn't really matter to me. I love humanity. When you hate someone, it's like you drinking poison. You know, it's like you drinking poison and expecting somebody to die for the poison you've taken. So why must I hate? So we need support. We need government to support Nigerian airlines. Everything about aviation is dollar. If you don't have access to dollar, you cannot move forward. Remember, these airlines we are competing with abroad, they access loans in their countries at 3% only, 2%. In Nigeria, I'm getting my loan at 30%.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. At the same time, the Nigerian airline is dead on arrival when it comes to insurance. They stigmatize my country because insurance is done abroad. Oh, Nigeria is unsafe, Nigeria is this. So what we use in insuring one aircraft is what those bigger airlines all over the world, we use in insuring about 8 aircraft. So tell me, how do you want to compete in this kind of situation?
Can't we indigenize insurance?
No, all the Nigerian, you see, the insurance here cannot really, all of them put together, insure
don't have the
adequately. Yes,
yeah.
yes, adequately insure an aircraft. So you have so many of these challenges that are there. The other ways of supporting Nigerian airlines is the removal of the city hopping we are doing in this country. For how long are we going to sit down and allow our... We're putting a strain on the dollar, on the naira. Let President Tinubu know it today, that the multi-city hopping of foreign airlines into his country is creating problems for him.
Explain what city hopping.
Let me explain it. A situation where Qatar takes off from Doha, lands in Abuja, drops passengers in Abuja, takes off from Abuja, goes to Port Harcourt, drops passengers, picks passengers from Port Harcourt, comes back to Abuja again, picks passengers from Abuja, then go back to their country. The same thing Lufthansa, Airfares, and all of them. It is not done anywhere in the world. Nowhere in the world. The president should know and call for immediate review of those BASAs. It's not even supposed to be a part of BASA. Countries don't do it. I fly to India. Airpeace does India, Mumbai. When we applied to India to include Delhi, they said no. When you get to Mumbai, look for an Indian airline to take your passengers to Delhi. America, not even private jets, they will not allow you to hop from one place to the other. Maybe because of the endurance of that private jet. If you fly to New York to refuel, land in New York to refuel, you're going to Atlanta. You take off from there another 3 hours to Atlanta. When you land, you are not allowed to move that private jet to anywhere again in America. You have to come down and use an American airline. Then you go back how you came. But for commercial aviation, scheduled operators, you're not even allowed to stop anywhere. You come in, you drop, you go back from there. In my country, they do city hopping. And at the end of the day, these foreign airlines amass a lot of money and they put strain on the dollar and the naira. Oh, we need, and they start blackmailing the country. We need a lot, our money is stranded in Nigeria. They put it in the international community, pressure government every time. You knew quite well. You knew quite well that your money might be stranded. Yet, you're creating multiple frequencies for yourself into my country. And at the end of the day, you stigmatize my country. Who is fooling who? How long would it take for Nigeria to stand up and stop that city hopping? It is not done anywhere in the world. It is not done. That is the support we are talking about. Support is not only giving us money.
Enabling environment.
Enabling environment for the airlines to operate. Enabling environment for the airlines. Thank God we have a new...
aviation minister.
Aviation minister, a new DG, a new MD of FAN. Let me tell you, if you go to the airport now, you see one of my 777, the engines opened under the sun and under the rain. It's a shame. It's a shame. In my country, it's a shame. I should not be maintaining my aircraft under the sun and under the rain. It's a shame.
There's no cover.
7 years ago, we paid for land in FAN. The ease of doing business is zero here. These are the support we are talking about for the airlines. We paid for land 7 years. As I speak to you, I don't have that land.
Have you been
engaging government?
I've been engaging for the president minister is doing something about it.
Okay.
In fact, that's what I'm saying. I say, thank God. They are the ones that are trying to resolve issues of 7 years. For 7 years, an airline that applied to have land to build a maintenance hangar, that maintenance hangar would have metamorphosed to a maintenance, repair, and overhaul organization that will be doing C-check in this country and conserve money. Most of these airlines spend as much as 70 billion in a year on maintenance abroad. And you're putting strain on your reserves, foreign reserves, because you're moving a lot of money out of the system to foreign countries. And these are monies we could keep here. These are monies we could keep here. But Mr. Kayamo has taken that up now. He inherited it. So it wasn't his fault. But he's doing something. And Mrs. Kuku, who is the new hands person at FAD, is also couldn't understand why this thing lingered up to this time. To the extent of the only airline in this country doing international operations doesn't have a lounge, business class lounge of its own in its own country.
You still don't have it?
Yes. Meanwhile, all the foreign airlines they have, how do you compete with them? Your business class passengers will not want to fly you because they want a pleasure. So you're now using, and even when you're given, they frustrate you. The problem is that it's not even the people at the helm. Even ordinary civil servants there, they don't understand. I've been talking and talking, it's as if I'm over talking. We must support indigenous investments. If Nigerian investments fail, you may not know who be thrown out of the streets and become an armed robber, kidnapper. Absolutely. If you and I are not gainfully employed, you never know what we may do.
You might even see you on the road and punch your nose and say,
yeah, you never know. So the people don't look at it that way. They think it's they're doing Dangote a favor by supporting Dangote Industries. You're doing Onyema a favor by supporting Airpeace or supporting Max Air. You're doing Dahiru Manga. No, these people are okay. It's for the people. It's for the employees and the economy.
Could it be that Sirika, who was there, was doing all of this because he wanted to create the way for his other deal that has now been exposed?
Please let us allow. And I don't want to go into. He played his part. It wasn't.
Well, his part is what you are complaining about.
No, he didn't bring about this problem. In fairness to him, this things,
he didn't address it, and he brought Ethiopia and all of that.
If you look at it over years, most of these ministers, Sirika was not the person that started city hopping in the country. No, he wasn't the person that started it or started allowing foreign airlines to come here. So
perhaps he's talking about the land you paid for, and that he didn't do anything about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Sometimes it might not be the person at the helm. You know, civil service, they will still follow those protocols. They will come and give you one paper. Oh, this is the policy. It's okay. Do it this way. They will sit on it.
Is the person at the helm?
Do you know? They told us we should start that we'll be paying 7% gross earnings from the hangar. Where in the world do you pay you for your land? At least the land. First of all, they even gave us the land for only 15 years. And this is the land you're going to sink in billions.
And 7 years is gone already.
So they'll tell you you'll be paying 7% gross your gross earnings to them. Where is that done? That's the disincentive. Are you going to? The president is trying to attract foreign investment. Are you going to tell those foreign investors that when they come in orders for 15 years, they should have left them there? So give the Nigerian airline a supporting hand. That's all we're asking for. The central bank should also look into our Forex demand, because not even the pin on the aircraft is manufactured there. Even the carpet you step on, it's not ordinary carpet.
Yeah.
You can't buy it from any market in Nigeria. Those carpets, as dirty as they look, and you see them, they are tested against fire. The aviation carpet, special carpet, you bring them. Not even a rebate on the aircraft is made in this country. Everything is dollar. Everything is dollar. So, a situation where you cry that Nigerian Airlines don't have capacity, they don't have this, they don't have that, and you're not doing anything about it. That lip service to the issues. For example, you have money stranded in the central bank. I don't expect.
But this man said that this the central bank might say has paid off.
No, the Airpeace has $14 million still there. And this airline, if not for anything, has helped this government with what we've done to prove to the world that the problem is not Mr. President. And I said it before, the problem is not Mr. President. Let us all play our parts. And I started playing my own part. But I could have brought our business class to 10 million. Nigerians would have been happy because they were paying 15 million.
15 million, exactly.
If I wanted to make use of the system, I could have done that. But I didn't do that. I wanted to prove a point. And we did it. And immediately we brought it down to 4 million. All of them came down to 5 million overnight within 24 hours. And they are doing more. The country is better for it. Airpeace has saved this country billions of naira, hundreds of millions of dollars in the last two weeks. I expect that this airline should be supported. I cannot continue to cry about the $14 million stranded in the central bank. We put our own naira there over for the past 11 months. You put your money borrowed at 26% then. For the past 11 months, as I speak to you, you've not given me my naira, you've not given me my dollar. And how do you now support this indigenous investment that is representing your country? Do you want them to go down? If they want them to go down, let them come out and tell us.
How have you been running your business?
That is the thing. That is the thing. You have about 7 or 8, about 10 aircraft stranded abroad and within. And within. And you talk, oh, they say document. Which documentation? Which documentation? I've told our bank has given them everything, that the documents are there. So what is it all about? Is it a deliberate thing to bring an investment down or what? Look at Hajj. We did Hajj. As I speak to you, Asman, Airpeace have not been paid. About 10 million or so each. Not been paid. And you did about 40 flights, international flying. Would they have gotten British Airways to fly passengers, international flying, without paying upfront? And they make these airlines even procure bank guarantees for them to pay upfront. Yet you didn't pay. As I speak to you, that money has not been paid. How do you now support your own? And you push them, you wait for them to go. Even some Nigerians are waiting for you to fail. So what kind of wickedness is that? But we are not going to fail. God Almighty is with us.
I also learned that the services have been indigenized in that route. Speak about that.
The Lagos to
the Lagos route. That the cuisine and all of that have, because of you, they have now changed it. That I cannot eat gbegiri on my way.
It's true. We want to serve our people. It's all about putting. I wish every citizen of this country should be, proud of this nation. I'm proud of Nigeria. I have no apologies. I know I'm a target, but it's okay. Because of all these my fights, it is okay. It is okay. Even if my head is chopped off. But history will be kind to me. All those cuisines you're talking about, yes, we introduce them. We want our people to relax, be comfortable, eat their meal, not the one that you eat, you want to throw up.
Well, you don't even know.
You don't understand.
You don't know this. What is this?
At the same time, we also serve everybody because it's an international flight. We have people of all races there. So we have international, intercontinental cuisine, and as well as our local cuisine. Then the good thing is that on that route, you eat and drink until you drop down.
Somebody was flying once and he said that when they brought it in, he said, just give me one that is good there, because he was confused.
He didn't understand what it was.
So it's a good thing for Nigeria, and I'm even happy for the government because they've been vindicated. I don't envy anybody who is the president of Nigeria this time, because the flags were being thrown. People decided to cash in on certain things.
Because even the food inflation we're having, many of these are artificial. Everything is dollar. The dollar has become the.
I support what Mr. Cardoso said. Mr. Cardoso once said that the central bank governor, he said that this whole thing is artificial.
And even the vice president even said that they were saboteurs.
Yes, sabotage. That the naira has more value than is being projected through the dollar. I believe it in total. Go to London. If you earn £2,000 a month in London, you're a pauper. What the £2,000 can afford in London is like 2,000 naira. Because a Nigerian will sit down here and calculate it, 2,000 naira to a pound. That guy is earning so much, 4 million. The person
inside
earning,
the economy,
the person earning 200,000 naira in Nigeria is better.
It's better.
You might have a maid, you might have a driver, and
No. Not everyone will agree with you.
Not the 200,000. No. It depends on the cost of the
You
maid.
can't have a maid.
It depends on the cost of the maid.
no,
There are different kinds of maids. All maids are not created equal.
there are different kinds of maids. So, but what I'm trying to say in essence is that we should stop stigmatizing our country.
Yeah.
We must love our country. We must fight for it. We must eschew those things that divide us and look at the things that bring us together. We must support private investments. I keep on saying it. If you don't support your private investment, when you go out there to look for foreign investors to come, they look at your private investors, I mean, indigenous investors or investments. How have you treated them?
Right.
If these
are the issues.
These are the issues. So it must be there. Keyamo stepped out to go to London to fight for Airpeace. That is very commendable. That's very commendable. I don't sit down with Keyamo to talk. I don't know how many times I've spoken to Keyamo since he took over. But he's doing these things, and I'm aware that people are even already accusing him.
Of what?
Why are you? Is he only about Airpeace? I can't understand this country. He went to Airbus. Why did he go to Airbus? He was trying to see how we could access. Nigeria, we're not allowed to get dry lease. Somebody wrote the other day, Airpeace is getting wet lease aircraft. These Nigeria Airlines, they lease planes. Other airlines.
Let our audience know the difference between
dry
lease and wet lease. Okay.
Other airlines in the world, they don't lease planes. They own their planes. It's a lie. All these legacy airlines worldwide, they don't own nothing. When they make order, look at how it happens. They might say, Delta Airline orders 500 planes from Boeing. They will give Boeing the specification they want. A financing company we take over, finance it, lease it,
mortgage,
lease it to them for XY number of years. Let's say 15 years or 17 years or thereabout 20 years. At the end of, they will be paying rental. At the end of the lease, there's what we call lease return. It goes back to the real owners. Give it to Nigerian Airlines. We own our planes. It's not supposed to be so. That's not how it is done. Now, when you now bring a leased aircraft in Nigeria, these airlines, so you have a lot of armchair critics. Nigeria is unofficially blacklisted from getting dry lease because some airlines in the past, maybe when the owners came to take their planes back, they went to court to stop those lessors from taking their planes back. So that created a lot of problem against the Cape Town Convention, which says that worldwide, which covers aviation worldwide, the Cape Town Convention, when you're not supposed to stop a lessor from taking back his plane when there's a default. When there's a default. Now, the truth is that those lessors also haven't treated Nigerian Airlines fairly also. They will not tell you that. So because of that, Nigeria is unofficially blacklisted. So we can't get it. It's either you pack all your money and go and buy an aircraft, or even at times you do wet lease. Wet lease is where the lessor is in control of the aircraft, control of the crew, control of the maintenance, and control of the insurance. Dry lease is where you, the operator, is in control of all other things. Wet lease is more expensive. Wet lease, so the lessors feel more comfortable doing wet lease because they have control.
It's just like when you buy a car in the US or you buy a house in the US.
So it's more expensive. So our young minister stepped out. I remember bringing AirCap and Boeing And we went to him. They explained to him what it was all about. Except and only when Nigerian airlines, even Ethiopia, they have leased planes. Everywhere. All the big airlines, Delta, British Airways, they all leased. In Nigeria, oh, you own 30 planes, you own this. It's not done that way. It's not done that way. So, the minister went to Airbus, went to Europe and other parts of Europe. He discussed with Airbus and other lessors to see how that narrative could change. How are you going to be supporting the indigenous airlines in Nigeria? That was what he went to do. That's what he went to do. But I don't know the hula about. I mean, they didn't understand what he was doing. And if you don't,
Airbus wrote him a very nice letter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In the paper.
I've not seen that, but I'm telling you, as an aviator, and because my staff was there, my chief operating officer Tony Olajide was there. We knew what he was doing, so they should leave the minister. He's doing the right thing. He's going out there to see how he could help the indigenous operators in Nigeria. He wants to change the narratives. And if he does that, I'm telling you, the government of President Bola Tinubu will be praised forever. This is the only thing stopping Nigerian airlines from blossoming. The lack of opportunities to get financing.
Right.
Because this
I hope, because you said that some airlines botched it in the past. I hope that our people going forward will not create a situation where they will start doubting our ability to meet our...
No, we've learned our lessons.
Right.
We've learned our lessons because you don't want to go back to Egypt again. We learned our lessons. So, but at the same time, to be honest with you, some of those airlines, they complain of, I know about top brass. The way they treated them was unfair. The lessor, he had this, what I call it, lease to purchase, where you lease the aircraft, but you're paying into the final ownership of the plane at the end of the day. Yeah. So instead of paying $100,000 or $200,000 for the lease, ordinary lease, when you're paying for lease to purchase, you're paying into the final acquisition of that aircraft. Yeah. It might now become $400,000. This guy paid 3 months to the end of the lease. The owners came, they wanted to take their plane back. He said, why? There's now accused, they said, look, because the contracts with which you'll be paying this lease has been terminated. So therefore, we don't believe you could pay it. He brought in his bank guarantee. He has not defaulted. Yet they took the plane out. In that kind of...
Did he take them to court?
He got court orders, but somebody allowed the plane to leave Nigeria. Nobody will allow that abroad. All
right. Because we have limited time, let's quickly talk about the 30th and what Nigerians should expect. Now, there are those who are saying that this is the beginning of scrapping the exploitation of foreign airlines with the crash in airfares and all of this, and that government should support, indigenous businesses, like you have rightly said. I am wondering what you expect from government moving forward, since we have begun something now. That's on the one hand. Then the other hand is, how long are you going to sustain these prices for, the prices that you have, crashed as it is? Looking at all of the challenges you've reeled out, can you sustain this price, and for how long you can do that for?
Well, you talked about government support, and I keep on saying that the Nigerian government must come out this time to show that behind Airpeace on these routes. If they fail to do that, if anything happens to Airpeace, God forbid, this country will pay dearly for it. Mark my word. 10 times over. 10 times over. The country must make sure that what this airline needs, the money in the central bank, the Hajj money, I'm not begging them for money, but giving my own money back. Government must see to it. Government must step out. Keyamo is going to England on that day. He'll be on that flight. Minister of Trade, Doris Anita, will be on that flight too. The Foreign Affairs Minister is going to be on that flight.
Why is Sam Amashe not on that flight?
This is support from the government of Nigeria. And I'm glad about that. Yeah. They are trying to show that this is our own. Don't joke with it.
Right.
they need to be doing this consistently, not only for Airpeace, the Max Airs of this world, all the Nigerian airlines doing international operations. If you touch Virgin Atlantic coming into this country, Britain will not say it belongs to Richard Branson. I'm telling you, they are full mind to bear on this country.
Understand that
they do that.
That they are changing they have changed their own menu because of
yes, they've changed their menu, all the airlines now. So now the federal government officials are going, led by Festus Keyamo, Doris Anita of Ministry of Trade and Industry, and the Foreign Affairs Minister. They're all on board. They're all on board to show that we are behind.
Then the price, because of our time.
You talked about
the sustainability of the price.
Yes. 1.2 million is the starting price. There are other fares of 1.4 million.
Absolutely.
At every point in time, we are not going to shortchange our fellow citizens or even the flying public. We look at our costs at every point in time and we put a little markup. What was happening before now was total fleecing of this country. If you knew you could charge 5 million for business class for a 6-hour flight, why didn't you do it before? Why did you badmouth Nigerian government that is dollar, oh, your government, this and that dollar? This government suffered. Suffered. It was image battering situation.
Right.
Every Nigerian who was traveling abroad, some Nigerians, remember, had to fly to South Africa to get to London. Had to fly to Qatar, 8 hours. Now, with Airpeace, there's no layover.
All right.
It's 6 hours.
Our time is up. So, bottom line, Nigerians should expect, because we have to go now, should expect that there will be changes in price over time.
Over time, yes.
Right.
I just wanted to know, now others have failed who wanted London. What are you going to do differently? Briefly.
Yeah, we also...
2 seconds.
Yes, we knew those things that caused the failures. Most importantly, having your own equipment.
All right.
Airpeace has its own equipment. Not only that, Airpeace is in London, bona fide. We passed the TCO audit. It's a very stringent safety audit. Right. So we have the license to fly into London, not to... there are different kinds of flying to London. You may not have the license, then you are allowed, because of BASA, to go and get another airline to be flying for you. That is not Airpeace.
Alan Onyema, CEO, Airpeace Airline, thank you so much for your time on the program. Samo Mashe, essayist, columnist, thank you for your time as well. Well, this is where we draw the curtains on the program for today. Let's tell you that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is Your View with the Ladies, and afterwards this morning with Yori Folarin. Do stay safe. Bye for now.